And the Oscar goes to...
We have a musical again. It's glorious. Sort of. An American in Paris began its life as a 1928 symphonic poem by George Gershwin. Inspired by the American composer's time in Paris, it was meant to evoke the city's sights and energy in the 1920s. Cut to the 1940s, and Arthur Freed, head of the legendary Freed unit at MGM, sees a collection of Gershwin songs at a Hollywood Bowl concert. Freed, who co-wrote the songs for the musical and 1929 Best Picture winner The Broadway Melody, was intrigued by the title An American in Paris. Gershwin died in 1937, so Freed eventually asked his friend Ira Gershwin, George's brother, if he could buy the rights to the title An American in Paris for a new musical. Ira agreed, but on one condition. The film could only contain Gershwin songs. That's the way Freed wanted to do it, so the rights were sold, and Ira joined on, writing lyrics for his brother's famous pieces. What resulted was the film An American in Paris, about... well, an American in Paris, in this case, Jerry Mulligan, an ex-GI who settled in Paris after World War II to be a painter. Jerry, played by Gene Kelly, lives in a cramped apartment across from struggling concert pianist Adam Cook. Played by Oscar Levant, a real-life pianist who is friends with Freed and George Gershwin. Jerry struggles to make a living off his work until one day when he runs into lonely heiress Milo Roberts, played by Nina Foch. Milo not only offers to buy a few of his paintings, but also offers to sponsor an art show for Jerry. Jerry is hesitant about his association with Milo, who has a romantic, obsessive interest in him. Meanwhile, Jerry meets Lise, a young dancer and sharp girl played by Leslie Caron in her first ever film role. Jerry falls head over heels for Lise and quickly starts pursuing her. Despite her annoyance and total lack of interest in Jerry, Lise develops feelings for him.
Aren't you sick of the life and times of Mulligan?
I'd rather listen to you. I don't like to talk about myself.
Oh, you're going to have to get over that.
Why?
Well, with a binding like you've got, people are going to want to know what's in the book.
What does that mean?
Well, primarily, it means you're a very pretty girl.
I am?
Yes, you are.
How do you know?
I heard it on the radio.
Making fun with me.
Doesn't everybody tell you that?
I haven't been out with many people, and they're always friends.
Honey, believe me, I'm no enemy.
But their relationship may be in jeopardy as she is already the girlfriend of French singer Henri Hank Burrell, a friend of Jerry and Adam played by George Gatery. An American in Paris is the first musical we've had since 1944's Going My Way. It's also the first color film since Gone with the Wind, which I reviewed way back in November 2013. And oddly enough, both of those films not only contain, but also start with a tense of the word go. Take that random, useless trivia any way that you want. But if there was to be a color film to follow Gone with the Wind in this series, I dare you to find a better 1951 film than An American in Paris. The cinematography is gorgeous. John Alton, who was in charge of the climactic musical number, and the main cinematographer Alfred Gilks deserved every ounce of the Oscar they won for what was actually, amazingly, Alton's first color film, though he had made quite a name for himself with his black and white film noir photography. Honest to God, this is one of the best looking films, certainly one of the best, if not the best looking musicals, I've ever seen. Nearly every scene is stunning, or at least has something insanely pretty and interesting going for it visually. There are images like this, and this, and this. It's just beautiful shot after beautiful shot. I also have to give major props to E. Preston Ames, Cedric Gibbons, F. Keogh Gleason, and Edwin B. Willis for the art and set decoration. Not only do the sets show off the Technicolor, they really, for the most part, make you feel like you're in Paris and not a soundstage, where all but 2 shots of the movie were filmed. This might not be terribly surprising since master art director E. Preston Ames had already heavily studied Paris and knew the city well. Some things that aren't pulled off so well are the story and characters. The characters don't have a lot of depth. What you see is pretty much what you get for all but Jerry and Lise. Simple characters can be fine, but there should still be something about them that grabs your attention, something that makes you care about and remember them. I guess I did care about them all, but I'm not so sure how much I'll remember them. I mean, yeah, I'll remember that Hank was a nice guy who didn't deserve the situation he was in. I'll remember that Adam was funny, and oh my god, wait, I have to stop for a second and clarify that when I say Adam was funny, I mean he was funny. He's by far the best character, hell, the best part of the film. I mean, really, I dare you. I dare you to watch this scene where Adam knows Jerry is getting advice about Lise from the very man who wants to marry her. You will not be able to pay attention to a word Jerry and Hank say. You just won't. Oscar Levant is just too perfect with his comedy. He's an absolute scene stealer.
What's the matter, Jerry?
Oh, nothing.
Tell me, maybe I can help.
Did I ever tell you about the time I gave a command performance for Hitler?
Wait, Adam. Jerry has some trouble, and I like to hear about it.
It was pretty complicated, Hank. Well, I'll make it brief. There's a gal who's sponsoring me, and she's really helping me a lot, but well, she's stuck on me. Now, there's a girl I'm stuck on. She doesn't know about the first one.
Naturally, so far, this is very ordinary.
So far.
Now, wait. The girl I'm stuck on has got something she can't tell me about, so we go out together and get nowhere.
Uh-huh. Let me ask you something. Is this girl, as you say, stuck on you?
I think so.
Then you have no problems.
Where'd they go?
Now, what was I talking about? Oh right, the other characters. Even Lee suffers a bit. She's shown to be a great dancer, but what else is there to her? I don't see enough of her. Enough of her interests, enough of her likes and dislikes, enough of her as a person to really care about her as much as I should. This might have been okay too if Kelly and Caron had good chemistry together, and mostly they don't. Yeah, there were a few moments when I believed these two were in love, but a lot of it didn't ring true. There just wasn't that mad spark or the shared interests that make you believe two people are truly in love. So I didn't care much if Jerry and Lise got together by the end of it all. I would have gladly sacrificed the climactic musical number, which I'll admit I'm not too crazy about despite it being extremely well put together, for a more personal character scene or two between Jerry and Lise that would have made me more interested and satisfied with the final romantic outcome. One of the big problems I have with the romance is how it begins, and that's with Jerry acting like a creeper. He's never even met her, and he's just leering at her from across the room. He lies to the people she's with and says that he knows her just so he can get a dance with her. Then he has this line.
Now, please, I would like to return to my table.
In a minute.
It's very clear our love is here to stay.
And later he has this one.
I wasn't sure you'd come. I thought maybe you'd just said yes to get rid of me. Not that it would have.
He later tries calling her, and after she clearly and forcefully expresses her disinterest and tells him to stop bothering her, he still shows up at her work. It starts the romance off on a yucky, stalkery tone. I know it's supposed to be funny and charming, but it leaves a bad taste in the mouth and made me feel uncomfortable until the end credits. The film script could have used more work. There isn't much of a plot to the movie. The story just isn't that good, or, I hate to say it again, memorable. I think my wife was right in saying that it was really just an excuse for the songs, which I wish I liked more. This is a heavy dance movie. Kelly throws in ballet and tap for great variety, joy, and thrills. The dancing usually outshines the songs with its clever, fun, and skilled choreography, and I have little to nothing bad to say about it. I'm certainly no Gershwin Brothers expert, but the music and lyrics for these songs are all expertly and precisely composed. The music side is particularly good, and you can tell George Gershwin was a true master. So, let me be clear. These are not bad songs or bad musical numbers. The compositions, the choreography, the singers, and the musicians are all of the highest quality. The problem is, while the songs are really well composed, they don't really stand out from other musicals from the period. For example, there's the opening number. It's beautiful, but drones on and on. It isn't funny when it's trying to be, and everyone's timing and chemistry feels off for a number that I kept wanting to see work.
Give me the free and easy waltz, that is free and easy, and don't tell the band if they want a hand, the waltz must be Strauss's.
Strauss's! Dog! Pig! My card!
And you have Love Is Here to Stay, a standard love song that doesn't feel sincere. It doesn't feel like Jerry's expressing his love for someone. It's never touching and heartwarming, he's just singing a song. He's singing it very well, but there's no connection or deep emotion between these two people. It's actually kind of boring.
It's very clear our love is here to stay. Not for a year, but ever and a day.
And maybe that's what's going wrong with most of these. People are performing instead of acting. People are focusing too much on how well they're singing, not how well they're emoting and connecting. What I'm trying to say is, great compositions aren't everything. Personality is important too. That all being said, a few of the songs do work, and in a couple cases work brilliantly. It's Wonderful is a classic, but isn't great. At around 3 minutes, it manages to outstay its welcome just a little. But I'd be lying if I said there wasn't some fun to be had with the lyrics and Kelly and Gatory's rendition of the song. And hey, You get to see Kelly dancing a bit, which is always a treat.
It's wonderful, it's marvelous that she should care for me. It's wonderful, it's wonderful, it's marvelous, it's marvelous. She should care for me.
Tra-la-la-la is exploding with energy and emotion and love in more ways than one. Kelly and Levant's love for music and singing is obvious and super infectious. Seriously, try not to smile when you watch this. But on a story and character level, it also, unlike Love Is Here to Stay, truthfully and authentically gets across Jerry's love for Lise, which is giddily bubbling out of him.
Just listen to my heart go pit-pat. It started from the start. I felt like that. Hum it, strum it, sing it, drum it. What a thrill I'm getting from it. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la. She's got but everything.
Is there a dowry?
She's like a breath of spring.
Wow, you'll be sorry.
Hum it, strum it, sing it, drum it.
Nothing good can happen from it. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la.
Another song that stuck in my mind and made me want to watch it again and again was I Got Rhythm. It's charming, lovable, also shows off Kelly's expert skill as a dancer, and just makes you feel good, safe, and happy about the world. It's the type of musical sequence I would watch on a gloomy day. Like much of Kelly's work, it wraps you up and lets you know everything's going to be okay.
I got.
Rhythm,
I got.
music.
I got.
My gal, who could ask for anything more?
I got.
Daisy
I got.
in green pastures.
I got.
My gal, who could ask for anything more? Old man Trouble, I don't mind him. You won't find him round my door.
And that's ultimately what the movie does. It can be a lot of fun when it's working. It can make you feel real good. But the romance starts off icky, and the story, characters, and music are a bit forgettable, leaving me with little to be invested in. Actually, it's funny. Kelly followed this great success with Singing in the Rain the very next year. You have to remember, while Singing in the Rain is now considered a classic and one of the best musicals ever made, it wasn't a huge critical success at the time. It was nominated for only 2 Oscars and won neither of them, and it really suffered in comparison to the triumphs of An American in Paris. What's funny is while the earlier film won Best Picture and all the praise you could hope for, and the film that followed was kind of poo-pooed, it's Singing in the Rain that's better remembered today. I'm not saying An American in Paris isn't deeply loved. I'll even go as far to say that An American in Paris' songs, at least on a technical and composition level, are probably better than those in Singing in the Rain. But I enjoy the music in Singing in the Rain more, especially its climactic number when compared to An American in Paris's. I go back to those songs often, they easily get stuck in my head, and they don't detract from and hurt the story as much as those in An American in Paris. I also buy into the romance, I love the great characters, the story is solid, and it's just an overall better experience, and I think a better movie. It's a film that seems to have been a bigger hit with movie fans over the decades, especially general audiences and casual viewers. I say all this not because I think An American in Paris is bad or that it sucks. I actually recommend people go and see the thing. It looks beautiful, Gene Kelly is a treat as always, there's some good comedy, and despite its flaws, it's a shining example of the love and attention that went into musicals back in the day.